Good evening, believers. How are you doing today? Come on in here. This is our last Healing Hour Live for 2022. We've come through this year. I'm trying to tell you, this year has been interesting. It's been a very interesting year, and I'm trying to make 2023 even better. I'm trying to make it even better than this year, but I want to talk to you one more time before that. I want to talk to you before it's over, before this year is done and dusted. Come on in here. Everybody that wants to come say hi. You know I love seeing you. All right, everybody on my Facebook group, Love After Cheating, everybody on my Instagram, which is Love Coach Dasha, on my Love Coach Dasha YouTube page, and I'm working on getting 1,000 followers on TikTok so I can go ahead and go live there too. I go live everywhere, trying to give you more in 2023. I want you to get on the healing path. I don't want you to be hurting anymore. All right. So if you have never met me before, don't know what you have stumbled into, this is the Healing Hour Live. Hello. My name is Love Coach Dasha, and I am here for specifically the women who've been cheated on. They've been through that trauma, but you want to stay. You want to work it out. People will tell you that it's a bad idea. People give you a hard time about it. People will tell you, "Oh no, he never loved you. It's not going to work out, and you should just kick him to the curb." I know. I heard all of that because the same thing happened to me when I went through it. My husband of almost 20 years, the first 4 years, he was a cheater. He was, but people do better. People can do better. People can experience bad times and then do better. And I am fully for your hope that that is the case with you and your honey. Yes, you went through some bad times right now, but you're full of hope. You're full of hope that this is going to work out, that you're going to be able to be together and it not be all this pain for the rest of your lives. That is my main thing. I want you to get out of pain. I don't want you to keep being suffering through this. Yes, it is a trauma, but no, you don't have to continue to hurt forever and ever. All right. So come on in here. Hello. If you're here with me now or you're on the replay, doesn't matter. Give me some likes. Give me some love. Oh, I see people are here. Hello. Come on in. Come say hi to me. Don't be shy. Don't be shy like you don't want to talk to me. I want to talk to you. I hope you want to talk to me. Okay. All right. So, what I always do at the very beginning is I always tell you the things that you can start doing right this second, to be able to start to control the pain, be able to get out of some of this pain, to be able to control how your emotions are flooding you right now. They go up and down, they mess with you. Sometimes you're like, okay, yes, I'm great. We're going to work this out. And sometimes you're like, oh my God, he is the most horrible person in the world. I cannot believe that I'm going through this. And both are true. Both are true, and both are very valid, relevant feelings, but you are going towards healing. And so we've got to calm down on some of that negative and get a little bit more positive going towards our emotions. And you're going to start off with doing that with your breathing. All right. You've been through a trauma. The one main thing about trauma is if you go ahead and start doing some deep breathing, start getting back in control of your breath, it actually takes away from the anxiety response that you're suffering. The anxiety response is you're breathing fast and your heart is racing and it feels like it's about to pound out of your chest and your jaw is clenched and your shoulders are hunched and you feel like there's blood rushing in your ears and your vision narrows down and your palms are sweaty and your stomach aches and all of that. All of that is all part of a physical reaction to trauma. When you've gone through this, your body goes into that on autopilot. And if you control your breathing, you take back control of that response. You slow your heart rate down. You bring your blood pressure down. You get your digestive tract moving again so your stomach doesn't hurt anymore. You stop that blood flooding to your ears so that your head doesn't hurt anymore. It is a whole thing that's all based on whether you're breathing correctly or not. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to breathe together. So everybody that's here now with me, give me some heart it. Let me that. Tell me about it. Oh, I can't see who said hello. Hold on. Let me see. Keep saying there's no comments, but I see you said hello. I can't see who that is though. If you've never done this before, go to streamyard.com/Facebook and let it see your name on the screen because it says you're on Facebook, but I can't see the comments on the Facebook screen. They're being mean to me today. That's all right though. Shari, hello. I see you now. Let me refresh it one more time. See if I see the other comment. No, I still just see one. That's all right. That's all right. Because it says I'm in the live chat. I don't know why it's slowing like that, but that's all right. I am glad that you are here, Shari. Ali, hey. Glad to see you here. So wonderful to see you this evening. All right. Come on in here. Come on in. We're going to do our deep breathing together. Everybody ready to do some deep breathing? Come on in. It's time for us to do our deep breathing. Get on in here. What I do is 4-7-8 technique. What you're going to do is blow out, get your lungs ready for some good fresh oxygen. You're going to blow out and make the noise. Make that whooshing noise with your mouth. Even if you can't remember how to do the deep breathing technique, you can't remember what the numbers are, you can't remember how long you're supposed to breathe in and out. A very simple thing that you can always do is just blow. For as long as you possibly can. What happens when you're anxious like this, you start sucking in more oxygen, but you don't let out carbon dioxide. And that buildup of carbon dioxide makes you freak out, makes you feel like something is wrong. And if you just blow out and even that out, a lot of the time you'll start to feel better mentally, just so you know. But you're going to make that noise, make the whooshing noise when you blow out. Inhale through your nose for a count of 4. Hold that breath for a count of 7, and then you're going to blow out like you're blowing out birthday candles for a count of 8. All right, it's good stuff. It will make you feel good. So everybody join on in. I need you to come on, do your deep breathing with me. All right, we're going to do 3 times together, but I want you to always do 5 times a day. Okay, very, very simple to keep on reminding yourself. Once when you wake up, once when you're about to go to sleep. And this is a very simple thing that you will forget. So those other 3 times during the day, set an alarm. Set an alarm to go off and say, hey, I need to take 2 minutes and go do my deep breathing. You need to be consistent with it. A lot of the women that I work with will forget that. They'll be working with me and doing things and implementing stuff and then totally forget about the deep breathing. And then that lets you freak out. It shows your body that you're not in conscious control. And so then it takes back over with the fear and the doubt and the anxiety. So if you're doing your deep breathing consistently, you are consistently telling your brain you don't need it to freak out. All right? Good enough reason to do it, right? All right. So we're going to do our deep breathing together real quick. We're going to blow out. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. Lovely. How does it feel when you're doing the deep breathing? Ladies, let me know. If you're doing the deep breathing, you're like, damn, that feels better. Tell me, let me know. You can always just hit me up and message me and say, hey, I just did my deep breathing and I feel great. And I will cheer you on from wherever I am. I will send you back a message and say good job, that you are doing your deep breathing. Excellent work. Keep it up. I will tell you that if you tell me that you have been doing your deep breathing, because it's a very important thing. It all comes back down to your breath. When you're meditating, it comes down to your breath. When you're trying to heal, it's going to come down to your breath, because you need that oxygen to be able to heal. Same thing. You need that oxygen to be able to heal. It's going to always help you. If you are struggling in any way, shape, or form, stop and do deep breathing. Okay? Just stop and start that. The second thing is always going to be in play too. You always need to be doing this, especially when you want to vent, or you want to ask questions, or you have stuff on your mind, or you feel like crying, or you're really, really happy. Either way, you need to be journaling. Have you been doing your journaling? Have you? Have you been sitting down with your plush cockatoo journal and breaking this bad boy open and writing down how you're feeling? You need to be doing that. If you're not doing that, you are doing yourself a disservice. You need to be journaling. It gets it out of your head and down onto paper. And that concrete, it exists in the world of writing it down, tells your brain that it can let it go. You don't have to keep thinking the same thought over and over and over again. It will show you that your memory is impaired when you do your journaling, because you will write down the same things over and over and over again and think that this is the first time you are coming to this thought, because that's what trauma does. Trauma makes you think that everything is sharp and clear, and it is not. So you doing your journaling has a ton of beneficial aspects that you're going to need as you're healing. Okay, so couple things you need for your journal. You need your date, you need your time, you need your level of anxiety. Date and time, so you can go back and check stuff. You can go back and see, oh yeah, this time of year, this time of week, this time of day, I feel like this. I can know that ahead of time, start working on that trigger before it even hits. All right, I need my level of anxiety, because a lot of the time, if you start writing about what is going on and you're feeling anxiety, hey Karen, I see you over there, I'm glad you're here. If you sit down and you start talking about, okay, I feel this level of anxiety, I'm a 7, and you write down what's going on at the end, and you put down at the end, like, okay, I'm a 5 out of 10 now. It's not as bad as it was before. Just this little bit of writing took me down a couple of notches. It helped me. It is a helpful thing, all right? Karen says she journals every day. That's what I'm talking about, girl. You got to get on that. Your journal is super, super useful. I journal every day. Now, I don't write everything down because I'm not traumatized right now. So I don't write everything down, but I have a little journal and little digital in my phone. If you just can't write it down, okay, fine. But it's so good to have a book. It's so good to be able to hold the physical manifestation of your feelings in your hand, be able to flip through it, be able to see your handwriting, what it looked like on the days that you were freaked out, what it looks like on the days when you are peaceful. There is lots and lots of information to be had in writing it in the book. Karen, you doing the book journaling, or are you doing digital? I know we do lots of digital stuff nowadays, but there is something about writing that tells your brain, oh, it's out here in the world now, so it's okay for you to let it go. Your brain doesn't let it go the same way on a device. Like when you try and journal on a device, a lot of the time you don't get that relief that, oh, okay, it's out here. I don't have to worry about this thought anymore. It's a little bit more difficult to feel it because it's not tangible. It's on the internet. So, you know, if you are having trouble and you can't figure out what else to do, breathe, do your journaling. First two things, all right? Then, of course, the third thing is be grateful. Be grateful, be thankful, be happy. Learn to turn towards the good things in your life, all right? That's the main thing. When you are going through this trauma, your brain will tell you that everything is horrible. Everything is bad. Everything is terrible. Everything is going wrong in your life. Your life is just a shambles. Your life is ruined and it's miserable. I know that, but Your brain is lying to you a lot of the time. A lot of the time, this one thing being wrong in your life, a lot of the time, that's like one of the only things going wrong in your life. Now, it does happen that they do this during stupid times, like when you are chronically ill. We were talking about that earlier this morning in the group. When you are pregnant, about to have a baby, all sorts of times where you got more than one thing going on, but a lot of the time your life is still good. You got good stuff going on in your life, okay? So you got to remember those things. You got to turn towards those things so that you are constantly turning your brain in that direction. If you stay with the anger and the fear and the pain, and you do not think about the things that you are grateful for and you're happy about, you will continue going in the direction of that pain and that fear. And that is not the healing path. That is the hurting path, all right? We got to stop the habits of hurting and start with the habits of healing. So being grateful, thinking about the positive things in your life is headed in that healing direction, okay? So this is our last Thirsty Thursday. So people gave me some good stuff for this Thirsty Thursday. I was like, what good things are still in effect? Yeah, okay. From week to week, I always ask you, but like for this entire year, like what has been going on? What good stuff is in your hands, tangible right this second, all right? Cindy said an excellent one. Hallelujah. She said he's still not drinking. Damn, that's some good stuff going on. Maybe that was from, I don't know for sure, Cindy, but I'm guessing, when the infidelity came out and his drinking was a problem because of it, he realized, okay, yeah, I have a problem with this. I should maybe not do this. And he started to figure his stuff out. Okay? Being caught doing the worst thing a lot of the time will make you face up to the things that you've also been doing wrong and make you say, okay, yeah, that doesn't look good. That's not a good look right there either. I maybe need to work on these things. And then you start working on them, you get better at them. So I am very, very glad, Cindy, he's not drinking. Angela, one of our moderators said, I've been blessed with a fourth grandchild, that cute baby girl, and got a new job. I will start next month. My online store that I opened December 1st is doing great, and I have some of my products that I make in a local store. Angela, I didn't know you made stuff. You gotta post it for me. Let me know what you got. What's going on in your store? You got your online store. Get it, girl. That's what I'm talking about. Entrepreneurial spirit. That's what I mean. When you are healing from this, there's time and space in your brain to expand. You haven't been having to stress as much as you've been healing. So it makes other things in your life more successful. When all your focus is not on, oh, this pain, oh, this hurt, oh, this terrible thing that happened to me, then you get to open up to some better things. So I'm very proud of you. Very good, Angela. I'm happy for you. Selena says, I have both my teens under my roof this week. I know that's right. And my husband and I are hitting 9 months of no alcohol on the 31st of this month. Girl, I know that's right. We got that teamwork going. We're going to stop together. We are on it, and you are on it together. That is beautiful. And I'm glad your babies are in your house together with you. I got 2 teens now, too. It's weird. They're weird people and they're teenagers, but I love them so much. They're such individual people, and I get to watch them grow into who they're going to be, and it delights me. It really does. Oh, I'm so happy for you, Selena. Good job. I'm glad you got good stuff going on. I always want to shout out on Thursdays, on Thirsty Thursdays, because we're always needing good news, okay? There is the good news. These women, they're healing. They're working on it. They're getting through this. They've got hope for the future. Things are going to go well, okay? So it is absolutely possible. I know people will tell you that it's not possible, but it is. Karen, you said you journal in a book. Yes, good. I love stationery. I got a thing for stationery. Brand new notebooks, brand new paper and pens, a fresh pack of sticky notes. It does it for me. So I'm always in for a book. But for the journaling, it really does work better than digital. until you get a little bit further past the pain and you can kind of journal on the go instead of it being a concerted effort first thing in the morning before you go to bed to sit down with your journal. Diana, I see you, girl. Hey, how you doing? Glad you're here. All right. So glad you're here with me, ladies. Y'all let me know if there's stuff that you want to talk about. I'm going to answer your questions. I don't think there were any questions on the post, so I got time. I got time today. All right. If you are on TikTok, go like me on TikTok, please. I want to get to the point where I can do some lives on TikTok too. I need 1,000. I think I'm like I don't know, like 300. I think I can't remember, but not a lot. But I've been going over there. I'm gonna start making more videos, making more content over there. So go ahead and get with me on TikTok too. All right, and the last thing, another thing that you can always control is what questions you're going to ask. Now, I know you want to ask a ton of questions about the affair. I know you want to ask a ton of questions about the relationship and how he's feeling and how he felt about her and the sex. And I know you want to know all that. And your brain is screaming at you to know all that. Your brain is like, I have to know these answers because then I can protect us. And your brain is lying to you. Your brain is not going to protect you. It's not going to calm itself down with that information. Nay, I say. Your brain is telling you to get all that information so that it can freak the hell out, okay? So that anytime you start to get close, start to let that wall down, it can take one of those awful, awful details that you have vetted and it can throw it in your face so that you will not let that wall down. You will not get close. That is what your brain is doing. All right. Diana. Okay, yeah. Okay, a question. All right, I see. All right. So this is much better than that. This is the and. Strange name. The and. Look here. And can you see over there? There we go. And it is this is the healing edition. It's 199 questions to explore the relationships around you. Every one of them is 199, I think. But they have great questions that are better than asking details that are going to traumatize you more, or details that you've asked a million times before, but you keep wanting to ask because your brain keeps screaming at you to ask questions. Instead of doing that, you can sit down and play around with this. Take 2, 3 cards. You don't need a ton of them because each one of these is going to start some conversation. If you sit down with it and actually, sit down with each other and start to exchange, it's going to start conversation with just a couple. So you don't have to do like a whole deck of them, but you'll have answers to questions that are more satisfying than those questions that your brain wants to ask, if that makes sense. All right. So this first one is, if you could go back and change one thing about us, what would it be and why? And don't expect, okay, if you get this question, don't say the affair. I would change that. No. Let's not be easy, okay? Let's not use this as an opportunity to poke at him about what he did. No, if there's something that you would change about the two of you in your relationship, make it be along those lines instead of, I would change that you cheated on me. And don't expect his answer to be, I would change that I ever cheated on you and I ever did you wrong. Let's not be easy, okay? Let's get a little deeper than that, all right? The next question is, when was the last time you felt really connected to me? That's a good one, right? When was the last time you felt really connected to me? All right, that's a good question. And one more for the road. How do you know when I'm struggling? Excellent question for him to ask for you, but also a good thing for you to know about him. How do you know when he's struggling? My husband is a dear. I love him very, very, very dearly, but he has bipolar disorder. And I know now most of the time when he is struggling. I can see it. I can tell in his sleep pattern. I can tell in the way that he responds to things. He starts complaining about everything. Everything is bad. Everything is miserable. Everything is sad. And it's just part of the disease working itself out in his head. If I keep pointing it out to him, he'll work on it and he'll work on trying to get to a different state of mind. But either way, I know the reasons when he is struggling. I'm like, I see it. You're struggling. So you kind of got to know that about your honey. You got to know that so that you don't take things personally. You got to know that. All right. All right. So, yes, got through that first part. That first part is always going to stay the same. I am always going to tell you these things because you have control over your healing. Do not give it to anybody else. You cannot give it away to anybody else. He's not going to fix you. He's not going to heal you. Stop expecting that because that's just too much for any other person to do for you. These are your emotions. Only you can feel them. Only you can shape them and mold them. So he can't do a thing about that. All right. If you keep expecting him to, you're going to keep on hurting. And I think you've been in pain long enough. All right. All righty. Diana said, there was one that posted about telling the other woman's husband. I feel the same way. Oh, Diana. Yeah, I get wanting to tell the other woman's husband. I get it. I fully understand that. But like I said, I don't know if it was that one in particular. I think it was one about trying to expose the side chick. Honestly, girl, she's not worth it. It's not worth it to go and get wrapped up in her life a lot of the time. And if you're here, because this has happened in the group several times, if you're here and you're listening and you hear this and you're one of the people this happened to, let her know. I have seen it that the husband will start getting all obsessed with you. He'll start calling you, texting you, trying to find out information from you, overstepping boundaries and like interfering in your life because you're the one that has told them this horrible news. And so now he wants to talk to you and sit there with you and commiserate with you. And then that's a dangerous thing because if you commiserate with somebody about two people that hurt the both of you together, you will start thinking that it's a good idea to start commiserating with each other in person. And then it will seem like it's a good idea to start getting some revenge. So it's like it starts off in a certain way, and I know you feel like, oh, I would want to know, but that is not your business to tell. I know that's hard to hear. I know people get mad at me when I say that, but that's not your business to tell. And shooting the messenger is a thing for a reason. All right. You don't want to be the person that he directs his wrath at because you're the one that that told him. Okay. I think it's a dangerous situation to put yourself in. And it can go left in a lot of different ways. And it is not your business to have to even do it. You're putting yourself in a position where you have to be responsible for somebody else's knowledge and marriage. Do you really want to do that? Don't do it. Don't do it, girl. Don't do it. That makes sense. I want you to, again, that's kind of going towards the hurting instead of going towards the healing. She hurt me, so I'm going to hurt this bitch back. I am going to tell her husband, and he is going to be upset with her, and they're going to have problems. And now you have created more bad feelings around you. You know what I mean? All right. I'm glad you're with me on that. You're welcome, Diana. I don't like seeing people it gets messy. It gets so messy. You're already in a mess. You don't need to add messy on top of messy. You're good. You're good with messy right now. Alrighty, let's see who else. Allie said, for no particular reason, when we had gone through the cards, I take some and use them as writing prompts. It's interesting to watch my own evolution. That is an excellent idea, Allie. Dang, I'm going to take that idea. I'm going to steal that. Okay, that's a good idea. Take some of those and use them as writing prompts. All right, let me flip one over with the intention of that. All right, that's filling your own question. That didn't even help me. All right, but you could journal about that, filling your own question. All right, so this one says, what have we lost? Oh, that's it. See, yeah, that would make an interesting journal prompt. It really would. That's a good one. Good job, Ellie. I like that. Excellent. So I'm getting ready. after I do this, I'm going to record a couple of TikToks because, like I said, trying to show up more, trying to be there, trying to, I'm trying to spread myself around. I mainly do Facebook, but I want to be on Instagram. I want to be on TikTok, trying to blow up, trying to go viral, because this is going to be my full-time job in 2023, is to help you stop hurting. All right. So, hey, Felicia, I see you on Instagram, girl. Hey, glad you made it. You not at work? Oh, hey, you at work tonight? You have to work tonight, did you? I think he said something about being off tonight. Oh, yes, but I want to go over to TikTok, and so I recorded a video yesterday, and I put it up there, and immediately, negative responses immediately. Oh, you should respect yourself. Oh, this, that, and the third. And, over there, it doesn't really matter. Comments are comments. It's fine. If they're participating and like talking on the page, then it just boosts me up more and lets other people see. So it works good. Oh yeah, I thought you were off Thursday. Okay. But yeah, it works anyway. But I'm going to do a video because somebody said, well, and this is going to be my first response video. Oh no, it's 1 second. But she said that, well, you can love them, but doesn't cheating on you mean that they don't love you? And I was like, that's such a common thing, man. That's such a common thing that has been spread around, and it's just not true. Any other thing that anybody else does wrong, we don't say, oh, that means you don't love this person. It means you fucked up. It means you did something wrong. It means you're childish. It means you were hurting. There's all sorts of things that we say, but usually it's not, oh, you don't love me because of this. And it's usually only our mates. Like if somebody that, is your close family member did something to hurt you, you wouldn't automatically say, oh, they never loved me. They don't love me. They never loved me. That was never a real relationship. You wouldn't say that because they're your family. And this is your family too. This is your honey. He's your family. He's the person you're trying to create a family with. So, you got to believe on them in the same way. You can't just automatically believe that, oh, well, because you did wrong, then that means you don't love me. That is not how that works. Saying that you love somebody is not saying I will never do you wrong. That's not what that is. It's not. All right. Even when you do the wedding vows, it's said for better and for worse. There is going to be worse. There's going to be stuff that happens. There is going to be bad, but we're going to love each other through it anyway. And it's like, when you say that, it's like, it's totally diminishing the fact that they loved you in the first place. You were totally dismissing that and acting like it wasn't real. And damn it, why shouldn't it have been real? You are wonderful. You should be loved. Of course, that made sense that they loved you. Yeah, you are this lovely and loving to them that you are willing to forgive them and come through this and deal with this unconditional love thing and really work on healing and try and get to a better place together. Yeah, duh, they should have loved you. You don't have to think that. You don't have to believe that people don't love you because they did you wrong. They're people. We do wrong all the time and we still care about each other. You have done wrong to your mate, and that did not mean that you didn't love them. All right. So now I'm getting ready to do a video after I do this. That's all about that for a little bit. Let's see, Felicia, you said everyone always have things negative to say, especially at times on the group, and the group is to find a way to stay with their mates after infidelity. So I always wondered, when people get married and agree to love for better or worse, what part of worse do people agree to? Girl, that was a thing, man. I keep, every time I see this post that's like, oh, the worst is not cheating. The worst is not like drug addiction. The worst is not like jail. I'm like, okay, I think that is the definition of the worst. Like, I'm confused. I'm like, if you marry somebody, okay, and the worst you go through is, oh, they don't know how to do bills, or, oh, they don't want to clean up the way you want them to clean up. I'm like, dude, you didn't need vows for that. You didn't need vows that told you ahead of time that things are going to get a little hot. All right. Things are going to get a little hot. You're going to have to keep your cool. You're going to have to keep it on with your boo, because things is going to get a little hectic for a little while. That they tell us that that's what it is. So I don't understand what they think they're getting into. People do the wrong thing all the time, and people make the same mistakes consistently. We're not people who learn very quick. We're not. Sometimes we're not. People often make the same mistake over and over again, which is why I tell women all the time, I'm like, don't say that, oh, if you do this again, I'm going to leave you, and you don't mean that, because he might. And now you're in this position where you done said all, talked all this junk and said what you was gonna do, and you were gonna leave him, and then you don't want to leave him. So I say totally leave that open. Just go ahead on and understand. Okay, it's for better or for worse. We're gonna work this thing out together and see how it goes. And I'm gonna try really hard to understand you and love you anyway, even when you're pissing me off. And we're gonna try and get to a better place together. And okay, you do that. That's all you have to do. That is your whole part of healing. That's your whole part of the relationship anyway, is just to work on being together, being the most loving person that you can be, being the best in the relationship that you can be. That's all. That's all you have to take care of. That is the way that you're going to heal. It is the way that you are going to come up on this whole situation, is taking care of your part. You know what I mean? So I think we just don't want them to not care and continue to cheat. But see, that's the thing. That's one of those interesting things that I never understood. Okay, if we just suspect them, if we're always side-eyeing them, if we're always looking at them, if we're always bringing it up, if we're always talking about how bad they were, how terrible they were, does that make them less likely to do it again? I don't think so. I don't think that that works. I don't think that that's realistic. If you actually forgive this person, if they know that they are super ass out wrong, they are wrong. They are wrong, and they know it, and they know that they have hurt you, and they've seen the tears, and they've experienced the pain with you, but then you decide, I'm going to heal, and we're going to work this out, and things are going to be okay, and I'm going to continue to love you, and I'm going to forgive you, and I'm going to trust you again, because I'm going to expect you to do better. I don't think this is the man that you really are. I'm going to say that this ain't you, and I'm going to expect better from you in the future. That's how you get a man not to do it again. Okay? You beating him in the head is not going to stop him. You showing him that this love is real, dude. This love is real. You got it. Even though you're dead wrong, you still got my love. You still got my forgiveness. Now, if you do this again, you're the idiot. And you can go forward if you have done that. Okay, you go forward and you treat him with love and respect and trust and dignity and forgiveness, and you do that, and he does do this again, you're in a different place. You've already known, okay, it was possible that this was going to happen. And people make the same mistakes over and over again. I know that it was possible that it would happen again, but I did all that I could do. I was living in the moment. I was being forgiving. I was being trusting. I was doing the actions of a person who had healed, and you went ahead and hurt me again anyway. Okay, yeah, you might know. All right, yeah, he's kind of a psycho. I should probably let him go. But if you're not doing your part, then it's just everybody was messing up. Everybody was doing something wrong. You weren't doing your part in the relationship. He wasn't doing his part in the relationship. But you can't say nothing about him not doing his part because you weren't doing your part. So you're always in the right if you're always handling your issue in the relationship. Does that make sense? You're always in the right then. And if it so happens that he takes the opportunity and cheats again, okay, all right, he's an idiot. All right. Yeah, you knew that the last time. All right. If you still want to work it out, you still want to get past it, try and work it out, you can absolutely do that. Or you can go ahead and kick him to the curb. Either way. But you will know that you were doing the right thing the whole time. And so it can't be about you. It can't be, oh, let me take this burden on because it must have been me. It must have been something about our relationship. You'll know that wasn't the case because you were doing what you were supposed to do in the relationship in the first place. So that makes sense? Let's see. Wait. I had to back up. So we as women stay. Hold on. Wait. Oh, there we go. Still, these women stay in hopes they would be monogamous with us, even though it's a chance they will cheat again. What scares me is to hear women's story about their mate cheated for 5+ straight years, and I assume they just found out. I mean, mine cheated for 4, and I knew about it the whole time. It don't make any difference. None of that it doesn't make any difference. The amount of time, the level of cheating, whether it was talking on the phone and texting, or if it was actually seeing them, or if it was moving them in, it does not matter. It's still all cheating. It doesn't matter. The level doesn't mean anything. People always feel like, oh, this cheating would be better than this cheating. It's not. It produces the same exact feelings. So, you can get scared about that feeling, but you don't know how your story is going to unfold. You don't know if it's going to be like other people's story. If you want to be with this person, there's a chance that everybody could cheat. There's a chance that you could cheat, okay? Don't always have it in your head, oh, there's a chance that they'll cheat again. Oh, there's always a chance that everybody will cheat. There's always a chance that everybody will do something wrong, okay? I don't put it past anybody. I don't put it past nobody. I have worked with too many women who was like, oh, I only cheated because it was revenge cheating. Yeah, either way, you did it. Okay, you were still capable of it, even though you did not think you were capable of it, which is why I do not recommend revenge cheating. But, we are all capable of doing the wrong thing. So you got to be forgiving and understanding of that with your mate. You could do the wrong thing too and be on the verge of ruining the relationship. And what are they supposed to do? Just leave you because they feel like you're not serious? No, you want them to give you another chance. You want them to trust you. So you got to go for it. You got to show them that you're willing to do the same thing. So I'm curious. So when he noticed you stayed throughout the infidelity for years, he did it. What made him want to stop cheating? I feel like men think we give them the green light to cheat when we don't. The last time when he was finally starting to really understand that he was really breaking me up. I was pregnant the second time, and I was just crying in the shower. I was just crying, and I couldn't stop. I just couldn't stop crying. And it was like I was in the shower and I was, pregnant. I kind of filled up the shower, and it was like he came in there and he came into the bathroom, and he actually, it was a very strange thing he did because he was manic at the time, but he actually came into the shower with me and wrapped his arms around me and was soaking wet with me and let me cry for a little while. And he was like, I promise I will try not to ever make you cry like this again. I don't want to make you cry like this again. And, he said that then, but he was still sick. So it ended up being that he actually went to jail after that. Right before the baby was born, went to jail. And then that is where, he hit all the way through rock bottom. He hit it and melted into it in there, and he missed out on my son being born. So it took some extreme consequences for him to be like, okay, all right, this is stupid, I shouldn't do this anymore. But everybody is learning and growing, and he had somebody who was still trying so hard to help him. So I was understanding at that point that it was more than just the cheating. It was bigger than that there was actually something wrong. There was something mentally going on with him. And it took me years to get to that place because I was so stuck on, other women, that I wasn't paying attention to the fact that there was actually something wrong with his brain. And I missed that. I did, because I was so upset, because I was so anxious, because I was so sad and scared and focused on my own feelings. I had missed a lot of symptoms of his mental illness. So, it for both of us, it was a hard road. It was rough. We went through some things. He had to suffer. But, after I got him back after the jail thing, I was like, okay, I don't care. We're going to fix this. I don't care what it is. And I'm not going to sit here and hurt forever. I am not going to raise these children hurting. I am not going to have this relationship be sad and miserable for the rest of our lives. No, we're just going to have to do better. And, that's where I stuck with that. And I expected that from him. And he likes that. He still to this day will use that with people. He uses it in his job now. But he was like, I'm not going to leave. you're just going to have to treat me better. So that was, once he understood, I was like, okay, I'm not going anywhere. I don't care. I'm all right. I understand that there's something wrong. I'm not going anywhere. Fix it so that we can be together and we can work this out. And so then he started working on his own mental issues. So do you think it would have to take something big for men to stop? Because sometimes I'll be thinking that way too about mine. Well, sometimes it's as big as you got caught and, you hurt the person you love. So it doesn't have to be anything bigger than that. A lot of the time, the idea that you are willing to forgive him and you are willing to not freak out on him anymore and you are just going to love him and trust him anyway, that makes him stand a little taller and makes him want to be that man. It's a big thing with men to be as much of the man as they possibly can be. And when you show them that you believe in them like that and tell them, hey, look, I'm trusting you. I'm going to believe in you. I expect you to do better than you have been doing. I'm not leaving you because of your mistakes. I'm expecting you to fix them. When you do that, a lot of the time they'll try and fix them. They'll try very hard. They'll try their very best to fix it because you're believing in them. And that works better for stopping them than punishing them. Does that make sense? He said, promise without you, I would have lost it a long time ago because trusting is so scary. Trusting is scary, but you know what? It wasn't scary when you first fell in love. All the hormones are flowing and feeling good, and you were like, I give this person all of my trust because I love them. And it's the same thing now. You can just make that decision. And then it's a little bit different because, without those in love chemicals working, it is an effort to trust. You have to remind yourself, hey, you're trying to trust. Go ahead and let him go out. Or, hey, you're trying to trust. Keep your fingers off his phone. It's a little bit harder to remember that when you're going through this, but you can make that same decision. You made a decision. People don't earn our trust. I have never seen that be the case. And the people that I've worked with, I trusted him from the beginning because of how I felt about him. And then he broke my trust. And so now I want him to try and do something to earn it back, but he never earned it in the first place. So it's impossible for him to figure out how to do that. And it's impossible for you to figure out how he could do that too, because he never did earn it. That was never the case. You gave it to him. And you can do the same thing right now. You can say, I just want to trust him. I want to trust him. I want to believe in him. And I think that he will not let me down. I think that he'll do right this time. Yeah, it's a little scary. Yeah, he could do wrong. But I'm going to believe that he is going to do the right thing this time. And believe in him and act like you believe in him and show trust and let him go out and leave his phone alone and take the damn GPS off him like he's a dog. Do all of that. Do all the actions of I trust you, and you will show that you are willing to heal, and he's going to be willing to say, okay, I don't ever want to hurt her like this again. She is willing to heal. She is willing to put things back the way they were. It is miserable with her hearing me and knowing what I did and being angry with me and being unforgiving and being not willing to trust me. It is miserable when that happens. So she's willing to trust me again. If she's willing to give me that forgiveness, I am going to make sure that I do not mess that up. Most men are like that. Most men tell you like, okay, yeah, I don't ever want to mess that up again because I don't ever want to be on that side. All right. My husband, it's funny. I think I have ADHD. I've been figuring that out this year. And one of these days I'm going to get tested or whatever, but I think I do. And part of why I think so is because I have bad object permanence, which apparently is a thing that ADHD people have. And I will forget you. Okay. I can literally forget people. All right. With absolutely no effort on my part. If I decide that I don't deal with you anymore, I can totally erase you from my brain. I won't think about you. I won't miss you. I won't be hurting over you. And, I was talking to my husband about that the other day and he was like, but we're cool, right? I don't want you to forget me because he knows. He knows I'm good for it. I will forget. It'll slip my brain and I'll totally forget about you. So he has tried very hard not to make me forget him. He has been trying. He's been a good husband. He's been a better and better husband since I decided to forgive him. Since I decided to act like I forgave him, he has gotten better and better and better. And the more I got practice at it, I got better and better and better. And then I was able to let the walls down and we were able to come together again and connect like that, you know? So you're like an angel in my ear. My emotions get the best of me, girl. A lot of people say that. I am in a lot of people's heads at this point. There are a lot of people who will still, to this day, text me and be like, "Hey, I heard your voice in my head again today." I was about to do something destructive in my life, in my relationship, and I heard your voice clear as a bell telling me not to do that. I'm so glad that I'm still there. I'm so glad that I am there with you. And that's why I try and, that's why I like doing the tech support and doing one-on-one coaching and doing the group coaching too, because you get me a little bit more. I fuss at you. Tell them about it, Felicia. Tell them I will fuss at you. I'll fuss at you. I'll encourage you. But I'm always trying to push you down the healing path. Everything that I'm going to tell you, if you work with me, is all about getting on that healing path. It's about feeling better. It's about getting to a better place than you are right now. You have hurt entirely long enough. I say that all the time. You've hurt long enough. You don't have to keep hurting. Yeah, you need to get past that. All right, we need to get past that. I was talking to somebody, and how long? I asked this as a question earlier today, and I want to know what you all think before we go. How long do you think you're supposed to have to heal from this? Like, is this a years-long process? Have you been told that? The person I was talking to earlier today said like 2 to 5 years is what she's read. And I feel like that is just entirely too long to hurt. I feel like you start changing who you actually are if you hurt for years on end. I think this should be about a year process. I really do. About a year from when you first start dealing with me and start really trying to actually work on this to the point where you're like, okay, yeah, it's better. And I'm not feeling all of that in here. I'm not feeling the need to talk about it all the time. I have gotten on with my life. Like, that should be where you are in about a year. And I know what I tell you to do works and you can get it done in a year, but you got to participate. You got to actually do it. You said, what does self-sabotage mean again? Girl, it means you just mess your own life up. You know the things. Self-sabotage is like, I know what would be the better thing to do, but I'm not going to do that better thing. Like, if you automatically assume that, okay, he didn't call me back today, so he must be with somebody else. That's a little self-sabotage. It's automatically thinking the absolute worst and letting your emotions just go ahead and go. And then you're sabotaging all your progress. You were supposed to be thinking the best of him. Okay, he didn't text me. All right, it's reasonable. Sometimes, okay, it's going to be a couple of hours. Sometimes I'm not going to text him right back right away. It's not going to be a couple of hours for me. All right, so that doesn't have to mean all of that. So like sitting there and sitting with that thought instead of assuming that it is correct, that's how you start correcting some of that self-sabotage. And he said, that's the perfect question. I think it depends on the person if they suffer from anxiety. I don't think that that's the case either. Hey, Naomi. Oh, yeah. Hi, Naomi Ross. I see you. But, yeah, even if you suffer from anxiety, I suffer from anxiety. If I had known what I tell you all when I was going through this, it would have been a year. It would have been a year, even though I had bad anxiety. And actually learning to get past this is still equivalent to controlling your anxiety. It's still doing those same things, doing your deep breathing, doing your journaling, focusing on regulating your emotions, not letting them run away with you, correcting those negative thoughts in the moment. That's what you do for anxiety too. That's why I started doing this because I was teaching about getting past anxiety. I had it myself, real bad anxiety when I was young, and I had worked on that. And then when I was fixing stuff with my husband, I was doing the exact same stuff that I was doing when I was dealing with my anxiety. That was before I even met him. So they're parallel. If you work on this thing that has your self-esteem so low and you start raising your self-esteem, that's going to make your anxiety better. If you work on calming and regulating your emotions, that's going to make your anxiety better. If you work on focusing on love and good things in your life, that's going to make your anxiety better. If you journal, that's going to make your anxiety better. If you don't ask terrible questions that make you stressed out, that's going to make your anxiety better. If you take care of yourself, if you do self-care, that's going to make your anxiety better. If you drink water and eat proper food and breathe the way you're supposed to, that's all going to help your anxiety. So it doesn't take longer just because of anxiety. You can work on two things at a time, you know? Or, if you have something else that's going on, it's going to work for that too, because you are working on deciding that you are in control of your future. That's what all of this is about. That's why I don't invite them in. That's why I only talk to you women. Because I know you want to do the whole couples thing. Be like, okay, well, he should come and he should hear what you have to say and he should be participating in this. I know that seems like it'd be reasonable, but honey, we don't need them. We really don't. We don't need them to heal. All right. We need them in life and in general, but we don't need them to heal. You have everything it takes to heal within yourself right this second, right now. Without him doing anything, without him being any different, without anything changing with your relationship, you actually have the power to heal all on your own. So you can work on that. Do it. Go for it. Sorry. Say you lack in eating healthy. I need to do better. Yeah, it helps. Because healing is healing. So healing always requires like the same thing. It requires energy. And to get energy, you need calories. And to have calories, you need to eat. Okay? It needs water. Your body needs to have hydration to function properly. So if you've been going through a highly stressful time, you are probably dehydrated. And so if you start drinking water again, you will feel better. It works. So you got to be focusing on doing those basic things: breathing, drinking water, eating good food, taking care of yourself. If you do those things, you will start to heal all by yourself. So I always felt okay. All right. I always thought, how come in healing and he trying not to heal, and that work when the woman is healing and he may be sabotaging it? Oh, well, that does happen sometimes, but that is actually perfect, because if you're working on your stuff, okay, you can notice when he's starting to sabotage, when he's starting to throw up a wall, when he's starting to act all stupid. You can know, okay, ooh, yeah, that's what he's doing. He's sabotaging. I'm not, though. I'm doing my part. I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. And so he is not as worried about trying to heal, because this didn't happen to him. It happened to you. So you're the one that needs more healing. All right. He doesn't need a whole bunch of healing, and he cannot heal you. So him trying to heal you is pointless. It does not work. It's not going to help. It's not going to do anything. So him trying to help you heal is not going to do anything. So he just steps off and goes ahead and lets you try and work it out. Now, if he's sabotaging, you will know that he's sabotaging, because you will recognize it because you've done it. Right? So then you get the opportunity to look at it from the outside, journal about it, talk about it a little bit. Like, I saw him sabotaging today. Do I do that in our relationship? Do I do that particular type of sabotaging? What goes on between the two of us when this happens? You've got something else to look at. You've got something else to analyze and to be able to get past this. So every bit of information, everything that happens in this healing process is part of the healing process. It will give you information to get further down the line. All right? That makes sense? Yeah, you missed the card questions. If you could go back and change one thing about us, what would it be and why? And not the cheating. All right? when was the last time you felt really connected to me? And how do you know when I'm struggling? So, all good questions for both of you. All right. All right, y'all. Anybody else? Anybody else got any questions, comments, thoughts, complaints? Ali, you said a year is good depending on how much damage you did before you got here. And I walk in on damage all the time. And it's like, I hate for women to have to suffer for this just because it's somebody that they love. Like, if you already know that you love them and you want to stay with them, like, there's so many people that will give you a hard time about that. So by the time I get to most people, by the time they're actually hearing my message for the first time, they're believing all the terrible fear speech stuff. They're believing, oh, well, he'll never change, and it's pointless for you to stay, and you're just going to be dragged and dogged out if you stay. All of that gets put into people's heads, and then they believe that it's going to take them forever to heal, and it really doesn't take that long. It really does not take that long. People just got to decide, make that decision, and the first thing in the dream triangle, make your decision that you want to heal, and then go toward healing. Go that direction. Right? That's all you gotta do, and it will work. And you go towards healing by thinking healing thoughts and feeling as happy as you possibly can, and enjoying your time together, and putting down the questions and putting down the need to keep talking about it. A lot of women feel like, oh, I need to keep talking about it to be able to get over it. That's not how trauma works. And it's not how trauma works. If you keep talking about a trauma, you keep traumatizing yourself. All right. So if you keep on going over it and over it and over it, that's why therapy lasts so long. You don't ever get to the bottom of the negative. If you decide to keep on digging down to the negative, you can go to therapy and dig, and you will never get to the bottom of the negative. You can just keep on going until you decide, okay, I just want to feel better, and you go about feeling better. That's when you end up stopping therapy. All right. Let's see, Gabriella. Hey, Gabriella. Once more, or maybe others can help me. What were the 3 questions? Oh, okay. All right. Hold on. I'll do it one more time. If you could go back and change one thing about us, what would it be and why? That's that one. Can you see? Times this off. Yeah. If you go back and change one thing about us, what would it be and why? The second one was, when was the last time you felt really connected to me? When was the last time you felt really connected to me? That one. And then the third one was, how do you know when I'm struggling? I like that one either way, backwards and forward. You need to know when your honey is struggling, okay? How do you know when I'm struggling? All right. You got them? I always do a few every session because they're fun games to play with each other. It's good to ask each other those questions to get into a little bit of a conversation about the relationship without it being about the affair, not without it being about the cheating itself. We can go into conversation and have regular conversation about us without it being about the trauma. All right. I want you to keep talking about trauma. I promise you, talking about trauma and over and over and over again, it feels better in that second. And then you talk and talk and talk, and then you wear yourself out, and then later on you want to talk some more. Right? So I say, just go ahead and skip the middleman. Stop talking about all that trauma. People get mad at me about that. Somebody got a little annoyed with me earlier when they were like, "How dare you say that she should stop talking about that? She should stop doing that." I totally get the anger. I get it. I know what you're saying. I know exactly how you're thinking and what you're feeling about that. But I'm telling you, it doesn't help to keep on going over and over and over pain. It does not help you. You already have plenty of it to work with. You got to be focusing your attention on the good and positive emotions, because you got plenty of the bad ones all loaded up, ready. They're already there. You don't have to focus on that. if you want to feel different than that, if you want to feel better than that, you've got to turn your attention away from those painful things and go towards the happier things. If this is still a person who makes you happy, if this is still a person that you love, if this is still a person that you want to be with and you like being close to and you like having sex with and you like kissing and you like being with and you like talking to and you like going to the movies with, if that's still this person, all right, treat them like they're still that person. It's okay to do that and just go ahead and move forward with the relationship instead of banging them over the head with their wrongs that they have done you. Because I guarantee you, you would feel like that was an abusive relationship if that happened to you. If you did something terrible, horrible, you just hurt him so bad, you hurt him just as deep as you are hurting right now. I know that doesn't seem like it's a possible thing, but it is. It is an irrelevant possibility because we are human beings and we mess up all the time, okay? But if you did him this dirty, if you did him this wrong, you hurt him this bad, you wouldn't feel like it was okay for him to spend years just punishing you for it, just being angry about it, making you suffer, telling you how terrible you were, telling you how much he hurt you, you hurt him. You wouldn't feel like that was a healthy relationship. You would feel like, okay, look, all right, yeah, I hurt you, but damn, we're going to talk about this for years. This is going to be every day. This is going to be all the time. This is going to be whenever you feel like it. You're just going to bust this out and we're going to ruin our day, make sure that we don't have good times together, and you're going to make this be like the center of our relationship. You would feel like that was an abusive relationship. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm wrong. Because nobody wants to be in a relationship like that. So if you're going to forgive, you might as well go ahead and decide that you're going to forgive sooner rather than later. What's the point of holding on to it? You're going to hold on to it and ache and suffer and just live with the pain until what? Like, at what point are you going to stop? At what point are you like, okay, I will release this. I have had enough of the pain. Like I said, it's hard to get to the bottom of bad emotions. So you can keep digging and keep going down into the bad emotions, and they will still come to the surface. They will still come right to you. So if you are looking for the positive ones instead, if you are trying to come to the surface yourself, you're not trying to keep on digging down, you're trying to come up to the light. If you do that, those positive feelings will try and find you too. All right? That makes sense to everybody? It's lofty concepts. Being happy just because you can be happy. It's a hard concept. It is. When you've been traumatized, it seems like that's crazy. But that's how you're going to heal. Small baby steps. 5 seconds of thinking about something positive instead of thinking about the negative. 5 seconds of deciding that, okay, no, he is the person that I love. I'm going to treat him with respect. I'm going to treat him like I trust him. Just every time one of those negative thoughts come up, you decide that, no, I'm not going to listen to that one. I am going to listen to my better angels, my love, my heart, and I'm going to grow closer to this person and get on the healing path instead of growing further away from them on the hurting path. All right? That makes sense? Hope that makes sense to everybody. I think that's just about it for now. I am going to give you an affirmation. Remember, affirmations are always what you say to yourself. It does not matter if it's a positive thing or a negative thing, okay? If you keep on saying a negative thing to yourself, you are giving yourself that affirmation. You are telling your brain you want it to pay attention to that thing and repeat that thing and operate off of that thing. So instead of doing that, you need to focus on telling yourself a positive affirmation, something good, something that your brain can hold on to. Always default back to. We're always coming back to this positive thing. We're not going to always come back to this negative thing. When you do that consistently, your brain starts believing what you're saying. It's a beautiful thing. That's the relationship you have with your brain is actually a gorgeous thing. You can tell it what to think. You can make it stop thinking bad thoughts. You can make it ease up tremendously. You can't make it completely stop because your brain will give you automatically negative thoughts for no reason. Absolutely no reason at all. Just because it was bored and it had nothing else to do. But either way, your brain will work with you. It will believe what you tell it. So affirmations, look yourself in the eye. Go get your camera, go look in the mirror in the bathroom, and say your affirmation from your chest. Say it like you mean it. Say it like it is the most true thing you have ever heard in your entire life about yourself, and you are claiming it, okay? So this one is, today I am special. Today I will realize that I am a unique, one-of-a-kind person. And you are. You are. This is a very unique thing that you are doing. People will give you a hard time about it. People will say that you are doing the wrong thing. People will say that you're bad in some way for this. But you are unique and special. You are a person who is choosing love instead of pain and suffering and misery. You are a special person. Today, I am special. Today, I will realize that I am unique, one-of-a-kind person. All right? All righty. That is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me for the Healing Hour Live. If you're catching this on replay, definitely hit me back with your replay. I am going to be reaching out to a few people in this next day or so. I think on the 31st, I may do a tiny workshop. So if you're interested, hit me up. But I'm going to be reaching out to people. I want to maybe get about 25, 30 people to come to a little workshop I'm thinking about doing day after tomorrow, to sit down and really think a little bit about our stories for 2023. I want to get your opinion. So if you're interested in that, let me know, and I'm going to reach out to a few people about doing it too. All right. So in the meantime, that is just about it, my ladies. What can I tell you? Don't do what the fear tells you to do. Make your decisions. Do your own part, and you are going to get back to happy. I promise you. All right. Until next year, believers, until next year, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Thursday, first Thursday in January of 2023, I will be back with you here for the Healing Hour Live. Come join me. I want to hear all about your New Year's, all right? All righty, y'all. I will talk to you a little bit later. I love you so, so much, and I will talk to you later. Bye. Bye over here on Facebook.